Cut. Ile kupe kibeti yangu niletee huyu mama roho.
Kwa nini? Speaker yuko? God, sikujua. Sorry. Pole, sikuwa nimejua speaker yuko. I thought wewe ndio unachea.
Okay. Komiti tutaomba. Leta. Spika kwanza na mambo mengi. Naona hata tangu la nabazanga tu swali moja basi. Ndio tu hii ine choose ni ala hii. Sasa tu wacha wengi. Na kugawanya. Nani? Haina shida. Nagawanya sahihi. Spika hebu chukua yako. 103. 103 sio? 103.
Nipatie mimi kopi.
Shimo, you just ask because of time, so unaweza uliza swali moja tu ama you need 2 questions.
It's okay.
Yeah. Hiyo nimeandika jina yako. Number 2. Ni kitu ya huko kidogo karibu mwisho. Kwa siwezi.
Haina shida. So ni wewe utauza gani? Moja. Ya moja. Speaker anaulizanga tu hiyo moja tu. Ukiwa unafunga.
Yeah. Okay, sawa. Hiyo sawa.
Niulizie hiyo.
Okay. So speaker wakati wa kufunga sana. Good. Hiyo ni speaker.
Mheshimiwa. Niulizie namba 12. Hizo ni leadership questions. Request.
Good morning, honorable members. Let us now begin the exercise. We will begin, as usual, with our prayers. Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the officers of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this county. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our county, and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen. Now we will all introduce ourselves. Let's start. Okay, first of all, clerk, you can introduce the staff.
Okay, my name is Abdullahi Daib Hussein, the County Assembly Clerk, Tana River. With me are Principal. Maybe you can just introduce yourself.
Good morning. My name is Abubakar Baroba, Principal Sergeant at Arms.
Morning. My name is Felix Wario, Clerk Assistant.
My name is David Wako Maro, Clerk Assistant.
I'm Mashombo Balo, Senior Legal Counsel.
Good morning, Zainab Omar, Research Officer.
I'm Ali Galale Salat, Sergeant at Arms.
Honorable members, starting from Honorable Fatuma Diramo, you can introduce yourself.
Morning. Salamu alaikum. Naitwa Mheshimiwa Fatuma Badada, nominated MCA UDA, the ruling party.
Morning members. Mheshimiwa Riziki Amaro Ruhu, nominated MCA Tana River.
Morning everyone. My name is Maka Maimuna Muhammad, nominated MCA.
Salamu alaikum. Kwa majina naitwa Mheshimiwa Halima Galtuma Muhammad, nominated MCA.
Morning. My name Honorable Musa Wario, MCA representing Kipini West. I'm a member of this committee. Also, I'm a minority leader. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mahmoud Ali Barro, MCA representing Salawad, member of this committee, also budget chairman. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Ismail Kodobo, member for County Assembly, representing the great people of Remane Ward.
Morning, everyone. My names are Honorable Hamid Babuta Salim, MCA representing the great people of Kinakomba Ward. I'm a member to this committee. I'm also the deputy majority leader, not forgetting my party is ODM, and Azimio is our coalition. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. My name is Sadi Yusuf Abdibile, member representing Chewele Ward, member of this committee.
It's okay. Yeah, morning all. I am Rhoda Katisha Raha, member of County Assembly, Gariseni South Ward, a member of this committee, and also the Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. My name is Osman Nur Galole, the Speaker of this Assembly and the Chair of this committee. Our next step is the Senior Legal Counsel to administer the oath to the nominee now. Mr. Mashambe.
Good morning, members. Assalamu alaikum. I, Mwanajuma Haboka Hiribae, do swear by the Almighty God that the information I shall give to the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. Now, may I take this opportunity to welcome you all, members of the public who are in the public gallery, and as well the members of the Fourth Estate. You are welcome for this vetting process. We now begin the voting process. Madam Mwanajuma Haboka Hiribae, can you confirm to this committee that you are indeed the said person?
I wish to confirm that I am Mwanajuma Haboka Hiribae.
Thank you for that confirmation.
Later on, I pursued a bachelor's degree in business administration at the Kenya Methodist University, and currently I am pursuing a master's in women leadership and governance in Africa, University of Nairobi. I have been employed in non-governmental organizations for around 15 years before I joined government as a county executive in the county government of Tana River. That is a brief history about myself. Thank you.
Can you also tell us about your competencies, Mwanajuma?
I have over 20 years experience in community programming. Having worked with the non-governmental sector, I was working with communities in issues to do with women's rights, women's rights, issues of girl child, issues of policy advocacy and governance. I have experience in communication skills. I have undertaken several courses, on-job trainings in the various fields that I've worked in. So I have experience. I have also undertaken short courses to ensure that I'm conversant with the issues that I'm currently handling. Thank you.
Thank you. I will now give a chance to the Deputy Speaker to ask questions.
Yes, Mwana Juma. Good morning once again. Welcome back to this panel, because you were here 5 years. 5 years. So one that we are interviewing on, you are there in the Department of Lands. So I wanted to know, since you worked in the Department of Lands, what problems did you encounter in this department? And as you answer that one, you can also go to the next and tell us where you hope to see Tana River in the next 5 years. As you look at the problems, tell us how you'll take Tana River, where you'll take Tana River in the next 5 years.
Nominee, apologies for making you stand for that long. A convenient seat will be availed to you in the shortest time possible. The Sergeant at Arm has been sent to provide you with another seat. So you can sit, kindly sit and wait. Honorable Ismail Kodobo, what's your point of concern?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You have guided. I just wanted to help our nominee to get a seat. Thank you.
Madam Mwanajuma, are you comfortable now?
So I don't know whether you need me to repeat the questions or it's okay. Okay.
I will proceed if you allow me. Thank you. I was in the previous government, 2017-2022, and I was the County Executive Committee member in charge of health, and then later on moved to the Department of Lands and Physical Planning, Agriculture, and Livestock, Fisheries and Veterinary Services. I don't know whether I'm to restrict myself to the problems within the Department of Lands or Health, but I will try to mix the two if I'm allowed. But some of the problems, and I would prefer to call them challenges rather than problems, are one is attitude. Attitude both of the staff that we are working with, and also attitude of the farmers. And farmers, I want to include both crop farming and livestock farmers, because one is that, and it's something that in my current deployment I'm trying to work on, is the culture of the staff to have commitment to bring positive changes to the people of Tana River. That is an attitude problem that we are working on. Also, the culture of our people, not to embrace the current trends of technology that are coming in. Also, in the Department of Agriculture, one of the things that I would like to mention is that Tana River is a very unique county compared to other counties, in that Tana River experiences floods and drought in equal measure. So half the time, or 3/4 of the time, the period, you'll find that it's either we are experiencing drought or we are experiencing floods. This is something that is happening, but the people have not been sensitized to change their perspective on how to do things. One, we need to change how we farm. We need even to change how we manage our livestock. So those are some of the challenges that need policy formulation to ensure that it guarantees people to produce more food, but also to take care of the livestock life throughout. And these policies should include probably insurance, both for the livestock and even for crops, in case of eventualities that have happened. The other thing that is a problem to Tana River County is that land tenure, security of tenure, we are not yet there if we compare ourselves to other counties, because we are still struggling with allotment letters, while other counties are talking about land titles. So we have started the journey by ensuring that some of the institutions and some of the offices that need to help us get there are in place, including having a land registry in Hola, and making sure that we have a land registrar who will oversee those issues, but also ensuring that the National Land Commission has an officer designated in Tana River County to look at land matters within the county. Where do I see Tana River County in 5 years? I see Tana River County in 5 years. I'm seeing a town that is planned, that we have urban centers that are very well planned, not the way they are right now. Because if I'm to give an example of where I reside in Mwangaza, even access roads is now a problem. So whenever there is a fire, even accessing where there is a fire might be a risk. But if we do proper planning of our towns, of our urban centers, of our villages, then we will not experience such things. In 5 years also, I want to see, and I hope to see, a Tana River where we will not abandon our indigenous livestock species, but we will also look at bringing in new breeds. If you go to other counties, ukiangalia, I hope I'm allowed to also use Kiswahili, ukiangalia mifugo na mili yao iko tofauti. So it is high time we start embracing what other people are doing. Look for species that can work very well in Tana River. Even conduct research to see at which species can do well in Tana River, then assist our farmers to now embrace slowly. The other thing is to see if we can come up with even a law or a policy that will guarantee every farmer, and by farmer I mean collective, every farmer will designate a section of their land to have pasture production, because that is also a problem. The conflicts that we experience in Tana River as a result of a scramble for pasture. So if we ensure now we take it as a mode of farming to ensure that there is pasture everywhere, we will not have the conflicts that we are experiencing right now. The other thing is to see a county that has a wealth of a river, the Tana River County. You know, the county is named after the river. So is to see that a vibrant county that is secure in terms of food production. We can do it, but we have to change the narrative. We have to change the strategies of how we do our farming. So I think in the next 5 years, that is what I would like to see. Thank you.
Yeah, finally, before I leave for the next question, I wanted to ask you, Mwanajuma, which is your greatest weakness? What are your weaknesses? I know you have strengths, but we want to hear about your weaknesses.
Madam Deputy Speaker, that is a very difficult question to answer, because for me, I see my weaknesses in my strength. And if I'm to mention two of my greatest strengths, which have happened to be my weaknesses, one is for my love for Tana River County. And that's why I was bold and strong enough to even appear in the County Assembly today. That is my greatest weakness, the love for Tana River County, which drives me to move people. And sometimes in the process of being professional and pushing people to deliver on their mandates, I have stepped on people's toes, and it has really landed me in problems. So I consider my love for this county one of my greatest weaknesses, in which I have misunderstood. My other weakness is my love for family, and it has restricted me to sometimes limit myself to my home, my office. And sometimes that has also been a limitation and a weakness to me, because I want the best for them. And sometimes I have a big debate. Where I was working before I joined government, we believed in the principle of work-life balance, where you have time for family and you have time for work. And in that process, for me, I want to disassociate my family life with the work life that I do. And that's why even I know this is a world of social media. I try very much not to post my children in that world, because I believe I have my world and they will have theirs. So those are my greatest weakness. Thank you.
Mheshimiwa Yusuf Bile, it's your turn now.
Madam, I just want to ask you two questions here. How do you plan to address the numerous complaints on land allocations, double allocations, and erroneous allotment letters? I repeat. How do you plan to address the numerous complaints on land allocations, double allocations, and erroneous allotment letters?
Thank you, Mheshimiwa, for that question. I know in the land sector we have been experiencing a lot of problems, and in the last 5 years we have been trying to settle the residents of Tana River, not only within the settlements that they are in, but also in settlements in higher grounds, and it has really been a challenge. One of the things I think in government provides for induction, even of staff who have been on the job for quite some time. So I think one of the things is to induct our staff to understand the processes and the legal mandates that they have over land. The other thing that I will do, because they need to be sensitized to understand that these problems eventually end up in conflict. And I don't think we would want to see our people in conflict when we have been vested with the powers and responsibility to protect them. The second thing would be to reactivate actually, because the structures are already there, but to reactivate conflict resolution committees. And these conflict resolution committees, we can use different strategies to ensure that even the mwananchi is part of the conflict resolution process. We can have them at the higher level where we have the county government technical teams, of course led by the either sub-county or the ward administrators. Then we can bring in the National Land Commission who have an officer on the ground. We can also bring in the Office of the Registrar of Person, and then bring in the national government security team to ensure that they look at those issues as they arise. But key of all is to sensitize our communities also to understand, because some of these problems that we are facing are brought about by the community themselves. Because if you agree to purchase a parcel of land and yet you know there is already an owner who exists in that plot, then you are part of the problem. So it's to sensitize the staff first of all, to understand what are these land processes. How do I go about it? Because if they are informed, then it is very easy for them also to oversight the technical team. The other bit is our technical staff. The law is very clear, and the policy is very clear, and the processes, land acquisition processes are very clear. Once you have a request ya mtu anataka ardhi, you are supposed to visit the ground. There is something they call ground truthing. Waende waangalie hii ardhi ambayo nataka kutengenezea mtu PDP ama nimpatie karatasi kibali cha kumiliki, je, hii ardhi iko na mwenyewe ama haina? So those are some of the processes that we can undertake to ensure that we minimize those problems. But of course, it's a process that might take time, but I believe we can get there. Thank you.
The second question. What are the measures will you put in place to revive the irrigation schemes, both major and minor, if approved today?
Thank you. You mentioned major irrigation schemes. Okay. There are irrigation schemes that are under the county's mandate, but there are others which are not under our mandate. For those that are under our mandate, the most critical thing in farming is water. And I think what the dilemma that has caught us is not enough water. And this has been brought about by climate change. We understand, all of us, that climate change is real, global warming is real, and Tana River has not been spared. Some of the efforts that we are putting in place, that we have been putting in place, and if approved, those efforts will continue, is first of all bring in partners. Reviving this irrigation project and making sure that water flows across from Balambala to Kipini requires resources which the county government might not have enough to sustain those efforts. So is to bring in partners. partners who have resources, and we can do concepts that, that will win to ensure that we have enough water that is flowing to guarantee that those irrigation schemes, if revived, then they can be able to operate and enable farmers to produce optimally. The other thing is the community needs to change their approach. Right now, people are embracing climate smart agriculture, where you use less water, but you expect to get more yields than before. Again, there is the use of fuel. People are using fuel or water pumps to irrigate, which is not sustainable, especially with the rising cost of fuel that has been experienced in the near past. So I think the best way is to go solar. To ensure that engineers are involved, to ensure that people can use solar power instead of using fuel for irrigation purposes. But we need to also come up with clear policies at the county level and acts, legislation, which of course the county assembly is vested with the approval process of the legislation, to ensure that we protect water that is coming from upstream. Because if the activities upstream are too much, and this is something that we cannot do alone as Tana River County, it's an effort that has to be done both by the county government of Tana River in collaboration with other counties that also use the same source of water, to ensure that this water is guaranteed and can flow. What is happening in Tana Delta right now, where the river has diverted, it is because the water that is flowing is not, the levels of water have gone down. So that water does not have that pressure that it can sustain flowing downstream to those areas. So I think those are some of the things that we will revive, but also ensure participation of the community in managing. Sometimes we believe professionals and scientists have all the answers, but I think if we sat and dialogue with the communities, they can come up with a sustainable solution to ensure that these irrigation schemes can operate. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Honorable Babusa, you can proceed. And before you continue, may I also recognize the presence of Honorable Mahmoud Abbas. He's a nominated MCA. You are welcome, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you, Chair. Madam Mwanajuma Haboka Hiribae, you have been a Cecm for lands, agriculture, livestock, fisheries. What are your achievements and how different do you expect?
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Babusa, for the question. Yes, I have been the Cecm for lands, agriculture, cooperative development, fisheries, livestock and veterinary services for the county government of Tana River in the last 5 years. And some of the achievements that I can attribute to the work that I have done with the teams there. First of all, I would like to appreciate His Excellency the Governor that appointed me to that position, but also appreciate the House at that time for approving me to serve in those dockets. I also want to appreciate the teams that worked tirelessly, because we have a technical team. The County Executive Committee members' role is to provide strategic direction for the department to undertake the programs that have been approved by the County Assembly during the time frames that have been given. In the Department of Lands, one of the things that I pride myself with is setting up, jointly with partners, setting up a land registry at the department, at the Ardi House, let's say Ardi House. But other than setting up the land registry, is to ensure that all services, land-related services, can be gotten in one building. Because once the Ardi House was set up, we made sure that both National Land Commission, the registrar is there, the technicals are there. We also have a GIS lab that supports us in one place, and other partners who are in the land sector to support the programs. That is one of the greatest achievements that we've had. The other thing is that the Department of Lands, when the last, or this government took over, it had very lean staff. I think there were about 4 or 6, if I'm not wrong. But the department recruited staff, and when I went there, they had already recruited quite a number of staff. But during my tenure, we made sure that we negotiated with the County Public Service Board to have internship, so that we can have numbers that can support the entire county in service provision. So we managed to recruit young men and women from Tana River County to be interns for 1 year at the lands office, about 19 of them. And they were a tremendous help, because it enabled us now to reduce the workload that had stayed for a long time without being addressed. In agriculture, I also pride myself with improving mechanization services, and by mechanization services I mean tractor hire services, which is domiciled in the Department of Agriculture, and we managed to purchase around 10 tractors that were distributed across the county. Before then, my predecessor had also acquired 10 tractors in the same department. The other thing in agriculture is we managed to do at least 3 or 4 trade fairs, or what we call agricultural field days. And these agricultural field days, we made sure that they were not done at the county headquarters alone, but they were done in the sub-counties, to see the innovations, the creative things that farmers were coming up with, to ensure that they embrace the changing technologies that were coming about in the agriculture sector. The other thing about in agriculture is we managed to work with WFP, of course, and bring about, we did around 10 designs of solar-powered irrigation schemes, and I think 7 of those schemes, minor irrigation schemes, are now up and working, and they are supporting communities. In livestock, we opened through the Resilience Project, we managed to open the Titila livestock, is it livestock and cell yard, which now is supporting livestock farmers in that areas. We also manage in livestock, we also manage, because one of the value chain in livestock is milk, and we managed to construct 2 milk processing plants in Bangale and in Garseni, although they are not yet operational, but we are making plans once the handover is done to ensure that cooperatives are in place to ensure that they sustain the work, they sustain now the momentum and running operationalization of those milking plant. But also we did collection centers in Tarasa and Boka. In fisheries, we managed to purchase around 5 boats about 2-3 years ago, and a day before yesterday, we managed to also launch through some of the agreements that we had signed then. We managed also to flag off 5 boats to the fishermen in Kipini Beach Management Unit. In cooperative, we managed to link up with the Cooperative University of Kenya, and through Daystar University, we were able to train some of our staff. But also we are going into an MOU with the Cooperative University of Kenya to ensure that there is consistent capacity building of the cooperatives in Tana River County, but also support them now to embrace the value chains that are there for development. Thank you.
I think you've been the Cecm lands for the last, I think, during the last regime for around 3 years. So tell us a time in that period when you had to make a very hard decision.
Is it possible to pass that question?
Of course, you are allowed to pass a question. That's very much in order. In the interest of time, I know, honorable members, you will want to ask as many questions as possible, but you have to understand that we have a list of around 6 nominees who are going to be vetted this day. And the nominee who is before this committee right now has spent her time already, 1 hour. And I can see only 5 of us have so far addressed questions to her. So kindly, and to our nominee, I see you are so passionate in answering the questions asked by the honorable members. Kindly, I also would like you to be mindful of the time allocated to you kindly. Honorable Babusa, kindly be brief, and so that we can proceed to the next member.
Thank you, Chair. It is believed that Tana River can feed the nation. So you being the Cecm Agriculture, first of all, do you believe so? And if yes, what measures did you put in place to ensure that happened during your 3 years in that office? And if no, why? Thank you.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. I believe we did our best to bring the services or to educate the farmers to put food on the table. But again, I think at the beginning question, when I started, my sentiments were that we need to change the culture and attitude of our people to embrace new ways of production, both food, livestock, fisheries. People have to change how they embrace this. But at the county, and being at the helm of that department at that time, I think we purchased seeds to give farmers. We worked with partners who are also doing the same, supporting farmers in every corner of this county to ensure that they produce food, to ensure that they plant and they grow fodder and also get a market for it. We had partners making huge investments to ensure that food production in Tana River went a notch higher. And I think we did our best in terms of fertilizer, even the cooperatives, bringing them on board to ensure they determine the market price of the produce that they are selling. So I think we can still get there, but we need to change the culture of our people. And one of the things that we need to do is look at the value chains that currently we are promoting as a county. Are they the right ones, or we need to do others? Before we think of even marketing to outside areas, we need to think of how can we get enough to feed ourselves as a county. And I think we're getting there. It's only that we need to change the perspective, because I can give an example of the whole irrigation scheme, Bura irrigation schemes. We have people who are here and they are doing what we should be doing. So it is high time the locals also embraced farming in a different way. Then we see how we can move. But we tried as a department to make sure that we move things around. Thank you.
Honorable Ismail Kodobo, it's your turn now. You can proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Madam, my first question is about your office and the duties. As the CCM in charge of lands, fiscal land use, how many plans has county developed in accordance with the County Government Fiscal Land Use Planning Act 2018? And has the plan been approved by the Assembly? And if not, why? Thank you.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Kodobo, for that question. Yes, as the CCM lands, during my time, we have done 31 plans according to the Act. I call it PLUPA. We have done 31 plans which have been approved by the County Executive Committee, 31 plans, but they have not yet been submitted to the County Assembly for approval. That was to be done soon, and I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, a meeting was held to familiarize the committee members with the plans before they are brought to the County Assembly. Thank you.
Thank you. As you are aware, a county special plan is mandatory for each county. According to County Government Act 2012, Section 110 to Section 114. Why is it that we don't have a county special plan in place, and yet we have allocated funds for the same? Thank you.
Thank you for that question. Yes, Tana River County does not have yet the integrated county special plan, but we have made strides because we've had multiple allocation on that vote for the last 4 or 5 years, and some of the mini plans have been done, including the 31 that we are talking about. The institutions or the structures that are supposed to be put in place to ensure that we deliver the county special plan are there. The county special plan is a very expensive plan to deliver, and we have been doing as a county, but also we've been getting support from some of the partners that we've been working with. Yesterday, the UN Habitat was here, and one of the things that they are doing is to do the whole municipality plan, which also will feed into the special plan that we are talking about. So yes, most of the work has been done by consultants, some of the consultants have not been paid. They are owing the county pending bills. But once they are paid, I think they will deliver the work that they have done, and of course, the special plan will be delivered to the County Assembly for approval. Thank you.
My last question is a fundamental question. On 3rd December 2019, Honorable Farhan Guat, the then nominated MCA, tabled an impeachment motion against you. Then ad hoc committee was formed in that effect, and on 17th of December 2019, the ad hoc committee tabled the report, and they recommended that you be removed from the office. On 18th December 2019, the House adopted the report and you were impeached. So my question is, according to the laws of Kenya, someone who was impeached is not fit to hold any office. We have seen in the cases of Sonko and Waititu. Why have you been nominated still having been impeached? Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes. We should be very much keen on the documents that are before us. I think in that document, there is a stay order of the court. And a matter that is before a court of law, unless we are going to be accused of what do we call sub judice, let us not discuss a matter that is before court. There is a stay order. She has even indicated it in her documents. Let us not discuss a matter that is before court, kindly.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, with due respect, that question was, I wanted to put it in public domain so that the public can be aware why we are today vetting the same person whom we've impeached. So it was just in that context. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Ismail Kodobo. Member for Sala Ward, you can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think my gadget has a problem, so I'm using the neighbor. Madam Karibu, I have two quick questions. One, what do you say about the dispute between National Irrigation Authority and the community around Bula Salama and Liberia area, where houses have been demolished last week? Thank you.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa, for that question. Yes, we are aware as a department of the demolitions that have taken place, the dispute between the people and National Irrigation Authority. There is a process that is ongoing, and I think we need to tread on this matter very carefully unless we brew new conflicts within the community and even the government agencies that are in place. But there is a process that is ongoing. The Member of Parliament for Galole presented a petition in Parliament to have the NIB land degazetted and reverted back to the county so that it can help in the town expansion or the municipality expansion. That process has not been concluded. There is a team that has been put in place, led by the county commissioner and the governor, to ensure that that matter, if is approved, then there are plans that are to be put in place to see how that land is now reallocated, either for housing or for offices, or what that team will come up with. The team has both the national government and county government and is working on it. But I think the enforcement agencies or the county security team is on top of this, and I've seen also our elected leaders are also handling this matter. So as a county, we did not give permission to any unauthorized construction on those parcels of land. But we are still reviewing to see how an amicable solution can be found. Thank you.
Okay, my last question is, you have been in the last regime, and some of the wards in Tana River, in terms of land ownership and agricultural production, nothing has been done, I can say. I'm sorry to say this. One of them is where the ward I come from. Last 10 years, nothing has been done. Madogo, Chawele, and also Bengal. Those, I can say, neglected wards. What plan do you have? Suppose you become successful today in terms of land ownership and agricultural production. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Planning is a continuous process, and I know Bangale was in one of the plans. It might not have been implemented, but Madogo Bangale was in one of the financial year budgets, I think 2020, 2021, but I think it has not been done. What the department does is consult. We give consultancy to people to support us in the planning processes. So nothing is lost, I believe. We are still planning. We are still also in the process of doing the spatial plan and the small plans, the small plans. So I think we will prioritize those areas that you have mentioned to ensure that they are properly planned. And remember, I said, what I see in 5 years is ensuring that we have a county that has been planned from corner to corner. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I'm done.
Honorable Musa Wario.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Madam Mwanajuma, my question is, the government of the Kenya made a huge investment of the Lamu port, our neighboring county. There is an opportunity to export our livestock just like any other county. Yet we have missed out the last opportunity. How do you plan to correct that if given the opportunity to serve as a CCM in that docket?
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Musa, for that question. One of the things, and I'll try to go a bit faster because, again, apologies for eating on other people's time. One is we have to be radical about this if we are to equal the rest of the county or the other counties that are in livestock, in the livestock market. One is range rehabilitation. We just have to invest heavily actually in fodder production, because if the body weight of our animals does not measure to the criteria that is set aside for export, then we cannot compete with other counties in terms of that. I know Lamu, there was a time hapo nyuma, ile meli ya kwanza ya zile, I think it was livestock to Oman or something, and we missed out as a county, but we are not ready. So that's why one of the priorities that have been set aside by that department is to creation of feedlots. And I'm happy to say that KCB Foundation is doing 2 feedlots in Tana River County right now. They have already identified the areas that they are doing that. And these feedlots are meant to ensure before livestock farmers even export elsewhere, they are taken there for a period of time. They are fed well, treated, wanafanyiwa vaccination, kila kitu, so that ile body weight yao itakuwa iko katika vile viwango vya kimataifa ambao vinaweza safirishwa kuenda nje. So that is one of the things that we have to work on to ensure that we compete with other areas in Tana River, in Lamu, Wajir, Garissa, and the other areas that are exporting. The other thing is, again, water. We have to ensure that we harvest. We have water structures or infrastructure are adequate enough kutosheleza both utumizi wa manyumbani, utumizi wa mifugo, na pia utumizi wa mashambani. So if we do that, then and set aside parcels of land that can adequately do range rehabilitation, then we are good to go. Thank you.
Bwana Chair, niko na swali lingine ya kumuuliza Bwana Juma Aboka Irbae. Bwana Juma, unao mikakati gani ya kuwezesha ama kuhakikisha kwamba wakazi wa Tana River wanapata hati miliki ya ardhi? Maana zamani tunasema kwamba land register yetu ilikuwa Makowe na Mombasa pia. Ile cheti hati miliki ile chache inapatikana sehemu za Witu na Kilelengwani, kulikuwa na hati miliki hapo, title deeds. Lakini hizo title deeds ilikuwa zinakaa Makowe, zingine ziko Mombasa. Lakini sasa tumebahatikiwa tuko na land register hapa. Na tuko na Kenya Land Commission officer pia ameletwa yuko hapa. Land register officer pia tuko nao wako hapa. Je, sahihi endapo tukikupatia nafasi, una mikakati gani kabambe amekwamba utawahidi wakazi wa Tana River kwamba tukikupatia hii nafasi kwamba utahakikisha kwamba watapata hiyo hati miliki ya ardhi ambayo kwamba wamemiliki?
Asante sana mheshimiwa kwa swali lako, na nilingeomba nilijibu kwa lugha ya Kiswahili. Moja ni kwamba wizara ya ardhi, ardhi peke yake, kwa sababu wizara hii ni kubwa sana, iko na ardhi, iko na ufugaji, iko na kilimo, iko na uvuvi, iko na hivyo vipengele vingine. Lakini kipengele cha ardhi peke yake, kwanza ingekuwa bora kitengewe pesa zaidi. Process ya land registration ni process ambayo iko very expensive. That is one. Kwanza kiongezewe mgao wa fedha. Najua ule mgao wa fedha unaokuja county ni kidogo, but unahitaji uongezewe mgao wa fedha. La pili ni kwamba process ya acquire titles inatakana ianze chini. Huko nyuma process ilikuwa inafanyika up bottom, but now ni bottom up. Na hiyo ni kabla hii slogan ambayo iko sasa. Ni kwamba katiba imepatia county uwezo ya kuanzisha zile processes kuanzia mashinani, na hizo processes nafikiri zimeanza, na wale ambao walipata nafasi ya kuenda nafikiri mwezi uliopita au mwezi huu mwanzo wakakutana na waziri wa ardhi wakati alipokuja pale Gamba, akakutana na wananchi, aliwaeleza ya kwamba process lazima ianze kwa county. Kuna process ambao county imefanya, na nafikiri zile plans tayari ambazo tumesema zinakuja county assembly zikishapitishwa, itakuwa process nyingine sasa ni kuhakikisha tumepeleka kwa national government, Ministry of Lands, alafu wao waanze huo mchakato sasa wakuja kufanya adjudication na yale mambo mengine, na watu wapate titles zao. Lakini hivi sasa pia kuna mradi ambao unaendelea baina ya county na national government, ambao mradi ule ni mambo ya nyumba za affordable housing and settlements, na ule mradi ule unaangazia hivi sasa settlements 11 ama vitongoji 11. Garseni viwili, hapa Galole wameweka nafikiri 6, alafu 6 ama 7, na Madogo wameweka nafikiri 3, I mean upande wa Tana North, Bura, Madogo nafikiri na mahali ingine. So hizo vitongoji 11 tunatarajia ya kwamba by the time that process, na hii ni process inakuwa undertaken na national government in collaboration na county government, watakuwa wametoa haki miliki 3,000. So huo ni mwanzo ambao nafikiri huo ni mwanzo, na sisi tutahakikisha ya kwamba tumefanya kazi kwa ukaribu sana na wizara ili tuhakikishe ya kwamba watu wa Tana River pia wamepata hati miliki. But mbali na hiyo ni kwamba tuhakikishe ya kwamba zile structures ama institutions ambazo huwa zinasaidia, moja ni land forum, county land forum, ambayo wakati hii miaka 5 hatukuwa hii form. Nyingine kuna ile wanaita county land wanaita county physical planning and land use liaison committee. Kamati hizi ndizo ambazo zitakuwa zinaangalia ule ubora na kusaidia katika hizo processes ambazo zingine tutasaidia kuhakikisha ya kwamba watu wa Tana River wamepata haki miliki. Asante.
Mheshimiwa Spika, Bwana Chair, langu la mwisho kabisa ningependa kumuuliza Bwana Juma. Nafikiri mimi mara yangu ya 3 kuwa hapa na kuwafanyia vetting hawa mawaziri na chief officer. Mheshimiwa Chairman, hawa mawaziri na chief officer huwa endapo huwa tukiwachagua wakipata hii nafasi huwa wana end up kuwa wafanyabiashara ama wanakandarasi, wengine wanakuwa makatels, wengine pia wanakuja kufanya biashara gushi katika ile kazi yao. Mheshimiwa Chairman, swali langu ni kwa Bwana Juma Mabuke. Endapo tukimpatia hii nafasi ya waziri, maana hatuwezi tukamwahidi kwamba atapata, ama hatuwezi tukamvunja moyo tukasema kwamba hapati, lakini tunasema endapo atapata, je, yeye pia atakuwa miongoni wa wale makatels katika hii county, ama atakuwa miongoni wale wafanyabiashara gushi ama wale wanakandarasi? Maana Mheshimiwa Spika, hawaruhusiwi kufanya makandarasi, lakini kuna mbinu wanatumia kufanya hizi kandarasi. Amekwamba ni makosa hizi kazi inastahili kufanywa na wakazi wa Tana River County na wale wafanyabiashara. Je, atuahidi mbele ya hii komiti kwamba endapo tukipatia nafasi kwamba yeye hata kuwa miongoni mwa wale ambao kwamba hawatafanya hii biashara gushi, hawatakuwa mwanakandarasi na pia kufanya hii biashara za makatels. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Asante kwa swali hilo. Swali gumu. I wish ningeomba nilipite, lakini nitalijibu kwa sababu kuweka rekodi sawa. Moja ni kwamba siwezi kuwa na uhakika ya kwamba kuna existence ya cartels katika county, lakini huwa nasikia ya kwamba kuna cartels katika county, lakini sina ushahidi. Kwa hivyo siwezi zungumza kwa uhakika ya kwamba nitapigana vita nayo vipi huo ukatel. Na nafikiri katika yale mambo ambayo sisi kama wa state officers, tunaitwa state officers, wakati tukija kuomba kazi kama hizi, nafikiri kuna vyombo vya serikali ambavyo huwa tunapitia, ambao tunapatiwa clearance ya kuhakikisha ya kwamba rekodi yetu iko sawa. Na vyombo hivyo nafikiri mimi kama Mwanajuma nimehakikisha ya kwamba nimevipata kunisafisha jina langu ya kwamba sina rekodi ya mambo kama hayo. Lakini pia vile vile kama mfanyikazi na kama nitakuwa successful na niwe waziri katika wizara hii ambayo husika ambayo tunaizungumzia hivi leo, of course mikakati ni kuhakikisha ya kwamba kuna sheria mwafaka ambazo zinahakikisha ya kwamba watu wakipatikana na mambo kama hayo, then kuna enforcement arm ambayo itawachukulia sheria vile ambavyo inatakikana. Of course mwananchi yoyote wa Kenya sheria pia imemlinda. Kila mtu anasemekana ya kwamba kabla hujahukumiwa ni lazima upatiwe nafasi sawa za kuweza kujitetea na kuhakikisha ya kwamba umepewa wanaita fair administrative justice. So hiyo ni lazima ifanyike. But of course I have stepped on people's toes for making sure that things are done the right way, having worked in the county, and my resilience to make sure ya kwamba mambo yamefanyika sawa na yamemlenga mwananchi wa Tana River. Hilo ni jambo ambalo sitawacha. Nitaendelea kupigania haki ya yule mwananchi ambaye amewachagua nyinyi, na nyinyi mtapewa hiyo nafasi ya kuhakikisha mmenipitisha na nimekuwa waziri ili kutetea haki hizo. Asanteni.
Honorable Maka Maimuna.
Asante Chair. Mwanajuma, the River Tana flows across this county, yet we suffer from perennial food insecurity. Kindly describe to this committee the plans you are going to put in place to propel Tana towards food producing county even in times of drought.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Maka Maimuna. One, ni kwamba lazima tuanze, we need to review the food chains, I mean the value chains that we have as a county. Je, tunakuza chakula ambacho ni sawa kwa maeneo yetu, ama tunahitaji tuongeze zile chakula ambazo tunakuza katika mashamba yetu? Kwa sababu tumejilimit kwa mahindi ambayo ni very expensive kulima, tumejilimit kwa pojo. Hivi sasa tumeanza kuona mchipuko wa mchele, tumeanza kuona mchipuko wa sunflower, tumeanza kuona mchipuko wa vitu vingine ambao hatukuwa tunadhania ya kwamba vitakuwa Tana River. So we need to review ni chakula aina gani tunapanda na ni gani ambayo inaweza kuhimili kiangazi ama drought tolerant crops ambazo zitaweza kuhimili huu kame ambao tuko nao huku kwa county ya Tana River. Jambo lingine ni kwamba ni lazima watu wa embrace climate smart agriculture. Hiyo si jambo la tafadhali, lakini ni lazima watu wabadilike na waanze ku embrace ya kwamba hivi sasa maji yamepungua, hiyo ni moja. La pili ni kwamba hata mbegu lazima tuangalie ni mbegu gani ambazo zinakuwa haraka zaidi. So wengine wale ambao wako na fedha ama partners wako tayari kutuletea vitu kama shade nets. Watu wanasema sasa tusitumie mafuta ya diesel ama petroli, lakini tutumie solar power kuhakikisha kwamba tunalimia. So we need to review all that ili Tana River sasa iende mbele. Now those are the things that if given the opportunity to serve the people of Tana River, I will give priority, that we have to go we have to change the way we do things. We have to embrace technology. We have to embrace ya kwamba sahi global warming imekita na lazima ama tabia nchi imekita na lazima sisi tubadilike, tuone ni vipi tutakuza chakula kwa wingi katika kaunti ya Tana River. Asanteni.
My second and last question to you. How many major irrigation schemes do we have in Tana River County?
I think we have 4. That is Galana Kulalu, which almost 70% lies in Tana River County. We have the Tarda scheme, which is in Garseni, near Gamba. We have Hola, National Irrigation Authority, the scheme. We also have Bura. I think there are 4. Thank you.
Honorable Riziki.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mwana Juma, good morning. Afternoon. Swali langu ni, Blue Economy is the new dollar program and an opportunity for the coastal counties. How will you position the department to benefit from the Blue Economy programs?
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Riziki, for that question. One is sensitization and education to the people to understand what Blue Economy is all about. Because it is a concept that has been there for long, but imeanza kuja hivi sasa. Kuna a lot of interest. Mwanzo walikuwa wakisema Blue Economy ni bahari peke yake, lakini hivi sasa kumekuwa na mjadala mkubwa ukiuliza, je, Blue Economy ni bahari peke yake ama vidimbwi, mito, lakes are also part of Blue Economy. So it's to sensitize our people first to understand what is Blue Economy and how can we tap into it. Jambo lengine ni kuhakikisha ya kwamba wale wavuvi wetu walio baharini, walio kwenye mito ama maziwa, tumewapatia vile vifaa mwafaka ambavyo wanaweza kufanyia kazi. So we need to equip them with fishing gears, we need to equip them with boats, and that is what the county government has been doing. We need to equip them with even skills that they can venture even deeper into the sea to ensure that wako sawa. Tukiangalia ile mkondo wa bahari wa Tana River ambao tuko nao 76 km, wanasema ndio uko na utajiri mwingi sana wa prawns. So lazima tuwajenge uwezo wale mabaharia wetu ili waweze kutap into that. Lengine ni kwamba lazima tuje na mikakati tujadiliane na wale washikadau at national level na pia katika county, mabunge ya county, tuje na miswada ambayo itawezesha wavuvi pia waweze kupata mikopo, kwa sababu hilo ni jambo ambalo halifanyiki. Kwa sababu it is too risky to venture into the sea. Most of the banking institutions hawapatiani mikopo kwa hawa wafanyabiashara. But hivi sasa ni swala ambalo linahitaji sheria kuhakikisha ya kwamba they are secured. Na mwisho ni kwamba ni lazima sasa tuanze pia kuwatayarisha, because when we talk about Blue Economy tunazungumzia ndio mito, bahari na nini, lakini lazima sasa tuanze kufikiria value addition. Ukishavua yule samaki, je, after that ni nini? Lazima tufikirie. Nashukuru ya kwamba moja ya ile investment ambayo imefanywa na county government ya Tana River ni ile cold storage facility in Kipini. Lakini haiishishie hapo, ya kwamba wale wavuvi wakitoa samaki wana mahali ya kuhifadhi, lakini tuzungumzie pia processing. Tunaweza anza kuwaweka kwa mikebe, tunaweza anza kufikiria watachomwa vipi na wasafirishwe hata mbali ya county za hapa karibuni, hata tuwe tunapeleka nje. Asante sana.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think I'm through.
Honorable Fatuma Abadada.
Anaitwa Mheshimiwa Zakaria. I've forgotten the last name, but anaitwa Mheshimiwa Zakaria.
The last question, tell us how you will deal with land cartels.
Kama nilivyoanza kujibu pale mwanzo, nilisema ya kwamba I might not be aware of the existence of land cartels in Tana River County, but we know that there have been complaints from here and there of irregularities in either sale of land, or people encroaching on land that already allocated to other people, and together jointly with other. We have institutions na structures zenye ziko pale ambazo ukweli ni kwamba haziko kisheria. We have land village committees which we know of their existence, but we know they are not also supported by law, but they are our own local structures that we facilitate kuhakikisha ya kwamba wameleta uwiano katika zile jamii. Moja ni kuhakikisha ya kwamba wamepewa masomo ili kuelewa ni mikakati gani ambayo wizara imeweka kuhakikisha ya kwamba ugawaji wa ardhi uko sawa na unapeanwa kwa haki kwa kila mtu. So that is one of the things ambazo pengine inaweza kupunguza huu mafikirio ya kwamba kuna cartels katika county ya Tana River hasa kwa upande wa ardhi. Lakini pia tunafanya kazi na nafikiri tumesha lodge malalamishi kwa National Land Commission ya kwamba sometimes tunaona ya kwamba kuna documents zimepeanwa kutoka Mombasa Registry Office, na tumewaomba ya kwamba mambo yote, masuala yote ya ardhi kuhusu Tana River yatoke katika registry hii yetu ya hapa Tana River. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, honorable members. Bwana Juma Mabuke. I know you turned your greatest weaknesses into strength when that question was posed to you by the Deputy Speaker. I will still want to know your greatest strength.
Thank you, Chair and Speaker wa County Assembly, Mheshimiwa Osman. My greatest strength, one, is a hard worker. I work hard and I make no apologies about it. Secondly, I am self-driven. Huwa singojei kuambiwa fanya hii kazi. Huwa mimi ninajituma. So for those who have been following how I've been conducting business throughout my tenure in the first term, will know that whenever I move to a ministry, somehow there are things that I do differently. So I'm self-driven, I hard work, and again I believe in teamwork. I believe mimi peke yangu siwezi fanya mabadiliko katika wizara. So every department that I've worked with, I had made sure that I made a strong team that believes in itself, that values strengths za wenzao, na pia wanasaidiana katika yale mapungufu ambayo wako nayo. And lastly, I am a good communicator. I have communication skills not only learned from college, but I think Mimi as a person, sometimes even the reporting that is done at my department, even though I have technical teams that are vested to do that work, I do the writing myself. Some of the documents that are submitted to this House with my nomination papers are documents that I authored, are documents that I put work into it to make sure that I talk about the work that I do as a person and as a department that I head. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. My next question is about your net worth. Can you kindly tell this committee how much you're worth of?
Okay. I think my net worth, excluding liabilities that I have, I can put myself at 7M there.
Okay. Honorable members, we've come to the end of it. Before I allow the nominee to leave, I would like to ask you whether you have something to tell the committee or any information or anything that you will want to share with us. Kindly.
Thank you, Chair. I don't have much, but to thank the Honorable House and this committee especially for giving me this opportunity to present myself here and nijitetee kwa yale nilionayo. I also wish to take this opportunity to apologize to anyone that I might have wronged in the cause of duty. As I said, I am self-driven and I push things. And in the process of being a professional and being technical, I might have stepped on some of you and made you uncomfortable or feel that maybe I am not giving your position the worth that it deserves. My apologies, and I humble myself to you. I am ready to work with you, and thank you so much. Asanteni.
Thank you. Now, before you leave, kindly confirm that you've received all your original documents before you leave. Sergeant at Arms, you can now escort. We wish you the best and Eid Mubarak.